This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes.
It is almost my favorite time of year.
The month of April?
No. Baseball season.
Springtime.
Baseball is here.
Yay.
Woo! Thursday, for those of you who don't know, will be opening day.
Yay.
And I will be off work.
Hooray.
Hooray!
I will be at work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be off work because my family always does a little party to watch the Rangers play. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. The more harder it is for me to take off, like the more, like I'm like, okay, everything has to line up for me to take off, the more the Rangers typically lose. So it was pretty easy this time, so hopefully they win.
Okay. Awesome.
So we're going to hope for a winner.
Yes.
But because it is opening day very soon this week, I wanted to watch a baseball movie.
Of course, you have to.
Right? Last year we did The Sandlot. So this year we're doing
Major League.
Yay! It was voted on by our
3 listeners.
To be fair, we did post it on something else, and I got basically the same answers. Major League, Bull Durham, and A League of Their Own. I like all 3 movies. It was a very tough decision. That's why I didn't want to make it.
Yeah. When we were going through the options of baseball movies, there really aren't that many big ones. Like, I mean, I guess they're big, but not like the football ones. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I think it's because there's a ton of baseball movies.
They're older. I don't feel like there's many newer ones.
That's because everybody knows about football. Like, it's all football. I love baseball. And I think that's one of the problems is that football, usually schools will pay for kids to play football, right? They'll give you your cleats and your shoulder pads and your helmets and all that crap, right? And then basketball, all you really need is a hoop and a ball. It's pretty easy. It's not as costly. With baseball, yeah, schools have teams, but if you want to actually play baseball, you know, going forward, you typically have to be on a traveling league, and it's very expensive. You have to buy your cleats and your bats and your uniforms and your shoulder pads and your cups and your all this other crap. And that's just for that team. And then you also have your school team. And then sometimes you also have like your summer team, and it's outrageous. So I think it's just a lot of people are priced out on baseball. It's very popular in other countries.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it hasn't transitioned to that here in the States anymore. Like, I think it's just because the other sports are just easier to come by.
Well, that and baseball is a slower game.
Well, but okay, see, that doesn't make sense because football, one game, you can watch that same game for like 4 hours.
Yeah, but when action is happening, there's so much more to look at.
I think it really is the same. I watch all the Cowboy games. I watch all the Ranger games. It's about the same. If you're looking for fast-paced action, then everybody would be hockey fans.
Basketball.
Because hockey live is insane.
Yeah, so like when I really learned about basketball, we started a league and they needed somebody to like join. So that's kind of like when I really learned basketball. And for me, basketball is very hard to keep track of because I'm like, where's the ball? What happened? You know?
Yeah.
But at least that's bigger than like a hockey puck.
Yeah. I mean, going to a basketball game, it's a lot of fun. I was lucky enough when I was in high school, almost all 4 years, either the guys or the girls team were really good.
Can't relate.
Yeah. One of them won a state championship. One was runner up twice and the other one was runner up my senior year. So
Actually, I don't even know how the other team. You know what? I think our other teams did decent to well. It was just our basketball, like our football team. We won one game my freshman year and we won one game my senior year. So I look at it as a closing of time.
yeah. But I think baseball, it's a lot of fun. It's getting faster. They're making changes this year where they have like a pitch clock, a batting clock, all these different kind of things. And it's just supposed to make the game go faster. They shaved off about 30 minutes on each game. But honestly, I don't think that's the problem. I just think it's accessibility. There's not a lot of parks and like in inner cities, there's not a lot of like land for you to play baseball like there is with football and basketball. It's just not as easy to come by. But I love baseball. I think it's a ton of fun.
So one time I saw a montage somewhere like YouTube, and it was like a montage of all of these like, what do you call the balls that go out of bounds? Home runs or whatever?
Foul balls?
No. The good ones where you like strike it.
Oh, home run?
Yeah. So I saw in Japan where there was like a montage and I was like, dude, how are they hitting so many home runs? And then I looked more into it. And in Japan, they have a shorter field so that it's more engaging. And I'm like, that would make it more exciting, you know?
Yeah, I mean, home runs are really exciting.
But they don't, like, the era really was brief with, like, Babe Ruth. Like, he could do it.
Yeah.
Like, that was his secret talent.
Now name another player.
Joe Namath.
That's football.
Oh.
But good for you on that one.
Hold on. I know. Jackie Robertson.
You want to try that again?
Okay. The guy that was married to Marilyn Monroe.
Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah, Joe DiMaggio.
No, you were right with Jackie, but you had his last name wrong. That was all.
With Joe DiMaggio, because you know I know history, I don't know sports.
Yeah.
I think he almost had a deal with Heinz 51 if he had hit 51 home runs, but he didn't. I think he only hit 50 that season.
Isn't it 57?
Whatever that number is. He didn't hit it.
Yeah. It's Jumpin' Joe
Oh,
DiMaggio.
Strawberry. The strawberry guy.
Daryl Strawberry?
Yeah, I know him.
There you go.
See, I know people. Oh. Didn't Michael Irving play?
He did.
Yeah. Oh, and Nolan Ryan?
Yes, that's
Oh, Alex Rodriguez.
There you go.
Yeah. See, I know people.
Now, what team did A-Rod play for?
First, he started with the Rangers, and then he went, well, at one point he was with the Rangers, and then he went to the Yankees.
Yeah, he was on the Mariners, and then the Rangers, and then the Yankees.
I do know that scandal. We gave him like $1 million, but like we didn't like sign an exclusivity or like the contract expired. And like after he took our money, he left.
Yeah, we gave him a lot more than $1 million.
Whatever.
They were paying him for years.
Yeah.
And he was a diva.
Yeah.
Big diva. But anyway, so we're doing Major League. And I wanted to just put this out there at the very beginning. This movie
is dated.
Yes, it has not aged well. So as of the start of the 2022 season, the Cleveland Indians officially changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians. The very first shot in this movie is of the Guardians standing on the Hope Memorial Bridge, from which the name was derived. So if I mess up and say the Indians, it is not trying to be bad. It's just because that's what the movie is. And honestly, they've always been the Indians until last season. So forgive us if we say the Indians, because that's the name of the team in this movie. So this movie, Major League.
Yeah. Did we ever tell that story about the Washington team and how you made a cup for my friend?
That's football.
The athletes or something. And like, I thought it was like one thing and it was another thing. And yeah, that was a thing.
How I made the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. Because he said he liked the Washington team. And I was like, oh, okay. So I looked them up. I was like, oh, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
They're the Washington team.
Yeah. But it was actually the Washington, D.C. team.
Yeah, the athletes or something.
No.
What are
the
they?
Commanders now.
But what were they back then?
They were the Indians. Or, sorry, the Redskins.
So what were they in the intermediate? Just the football team or?
Yes. Yeah, they were the Washington football team.
Oh, okay.
Just for like not even a season.
For the moment that I needed to know where they were from, that's when they were that.
But
that was a beautiful Seahawks cup.
It really was. I still have, or he has it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice Seahawks cup.
Maybe he'll switch allegiance.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good looking cup.
And one more thing while we're off topic. Las Vegas or Nevada got a team, right? The worst name ever. What are they? The Knights or something?
It's well, yeah, they have the football team. They also have a hockey team.
The Knights. The worst name ever. They should have had something like, honestly, like they should have had something like casino-y, you know?
Yeah, it's like the Knights, like Las Vegas Knights.
I was thinking medieval knights.
No, I don't think it's that kind of night. It could be, but I don't think it is.
They should have thought of something better.
Maybe it is KNI.
Like the Midas, you know, Midas golden touch because of gold coins and slot machines. They should have called, or the mines, the what's the miners people called? The golden nuggets. Isn't that a team?
The Denver Nuggets.
Oh, it's taken. Okay. Something with gold or money should have been their names. The Illuminati.
No, that's taken.
Oh, by the Illuminati?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're a secret society, so I don't think they've trademarked the name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, when it comes time to rename them because they're insulting, you know, medieval knights, we'll vote for the next name.
They should have been the Las Vegas Strippers.
No. They should have been
Poker Chips.
Lady Gaga's.
Nope, I'm out.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
All right. So this movie,
Yeah.
Major League, came out in 1989.
Yes.
So it's a long time ago. I have to say, I have never thought Charlie Sheen was more like his brother Emilio than I did in this movie.
He was so young.
Like when he had the glasses and the hat on, he looked exactly like his brother. I never really thought they looked that much alike.
I agree.
And then he sounded like him. And I was like, that's so bizarre. Because like I always think of him having like a different voice, like especially when he was on 2.5 Men. I didn't watch it that often, but I did watch it enough to like know his voice. I'm guessing the drugs and the whiskey probably changed his voice a bit, but he sounded exactly like Emilio Estevez, and it was creeping me out.
What is it?
I mean, they're brothers, so it makes sense, but
My brother used to watch 2.5 Men, so that's how I got into it.
men.
And it was a good show. I loved it. It had some good one-liners.
I used to get that song stuck in my head.
Because it would play at nighttime, I think,
Oh
right?
my God, so many times I was just like, men.
Dude, I'll never forget when like Charlie cracked. I actually went to his winning show. He had one at the American Airlines Center. I went by myself because nobody wanted to go. Oh man, that was a good time. It sure was.
You know, it was not a good time.
What?
The song at the opening of this movie.
Oh,
None of us liked it.
or that other random song.
I think it was called Cleveland, or they kept saying Cleveland. So this movie is set in Cleveland.
Ohio.
Yeah. And so I forgot that the beginning of the movie, they were trying to find players for the team. I don't know why. I guess I must have seen Major League 2 more recently because I kept waiting for certain things to happen and it didn't happen. So I'm like, oh, that must be in Major League 2.
It's Bridget Jones's Diary all over again.
Right? Because I feel that way. Because
at least we watched the right movie.
True. Because the marbles. I kept waiting for that to happen, but I guess that's in number 2 when they're shaking the marbles. But yeah, so at the very beginning of this movie, they're trying to find players. They're finding old people who haven't played in a long time or at the end of their career. They're finding nobodies. I have never felt more related to this movie than I have in recent Ranger seasons. Because sometimes I look at their lineup and I'm like, who? Or like new players will come up and I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
Is Chu still on the team?
No.
Oh,
No,
I
he's
liked him. I always wanted the one with the Korean writing, the shirt. Do they have a Korean player this year? Where did Chu go?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so upset. I liked him.
Yeah, I think he was gone before last year.
Well, I haven't been there since the pandemic.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the new stadium.
I have. We should go. You want to come to dog night? Because I want to go. Sarah's iffy about it. I have a dog now, so
What
I
day
can
is
go.
that? Weekday or weekend?
Weekend.
No can do.
You could take a day off.
I can't. There's no one.
They'd find somebody. Anywho. So yeah,
You're
they're
not doing it right. It's any Hoozlebees.
oh sorry, any Hoozlebees.
Thank you.
Oh
my gosh, can't even say your catchphrase right. Jeez.
So we find out that the owner of the team has passed and his wife is now in charge because that's how stuff works.
Yep.
I don't think that's how it would really work. But anyways,
It can.
it can. So she is trying to make the team terrible. And a little history. So I did some history stuff while we were on our break. It says that the goal of the owner in this film is to move the team to Miami. Just 4 years later, after its release of this movie, Miami was awarded an expansion team that would go on to win the World Series just after 5 seasons in 1997. Ironically, they beat a heavily favored Cleveland team. So that's kind of funny. And so, let's see here. Oh, and then this little fun fact It says the movie was followed up by a sequel, Major League 2, 1 year after the sequel's release. So that was
90.
Yeah. So it's 91 season, I think.
Okay.
The Cleveland Indians were actually win their first American League pennant since 1954, leading some to refer to that experience as Major League 3.
Wow, that is awesome. I love that tidbit.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, that's fun. So one of the players they have is Jake Taylor. He is the catcher. He's getting up there in age.
Yep.
And which is really sad because I'm sure I'm probably older than he was when he was playing that part. And I know how bad my knees feel some days. And I'm like, dude, I feel you, bro.
And you don't be using them like he be using them.
Yeah, I just sit at a desk and I get up and then I sit down. And then I get up and I sit down. He's squatting.
Yep.
Calling games.
Yep.
Popping up, trying to get balls. Like, no, that's impressive. But what is funny is that when he goes to a party for his ex-girlfriend and they're talking to other people, the lady is like, so I heard baseball players make a lot of money. And he says he makes the league minimum. Well, in 1989, the MLB's minimum salary was actually $68,000 a year.
Oh my God.
Average households in 1990 were roughly $30,000. So he actually was doing really well, but they made it seem like he was making nothing.
Still though, what's that in today's money? Like 250,000?
Oh, girl, it's like millions.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Like I'm pretty sure the league minimum is somewhere in the
No, 68,000 in today money.
Oh, I thought you meant the minimum in baseball.
In 1989.
Men.
It's 164,000.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. I'd take that.
Yeah, but just think about how much you're putting your body through. And
Still.
halfway through this movie, imagine the rookies. This is your one shot.
Like, I put my body through a lot.
For a lot less.
Yeah, working at Walgreens for pennies on the dollar.
True, and you do get fame.
Yeah. But I love that those people asked him, what team do you play for? And he said, the Cleveland Indians. And they go, oh, they still have a team.
And this is their hometown.
Yeah, they live there. It's like, how do you not know?
But in their defense, like we have a soccer team in Dallas.
FC Dallas.
And if they left, I wouldn't know. And first of all, they have a stupid ass name, the FC Club or some shit.
FC Dallas.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Well, we also have a professional women's basketball team.
Yeah, if they left, I wouldn't even notice.
I don't think people noticed when they came. Actually, we did because they would come into our store and they're giant Amazon women. And you're like, huh, what's happening?
I don't remember them.
Oh, maybe you weren't there at the time. You might have already left, but they like, not only are they super tall, but they double down and were wearing heels. And it's just like, you are too tall.
No.
As a tall person, I was like, Jesus, I feel like a small person right now.
No, you can wear whatever you
Oh
want.
no, that's fine. Wear your heels. But it's just like, I felt so tiny in comparison. So anywho, Zolpies. Let's see here.
So,
Sorry, what?
as the season progresses, they get better and better.
Oh, before you do that, sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to add one other thing. So when they're trying to go through and find their players for their team, she hands them a list, the board or the guys that make decisions. And they're like, I've never heard of half these guys. And they go, I think one of these guys is dead. She goes, then cross him off the list then.
I love that part.
Like, wow. Okay. Sorry. What'd she say?
Yeah, I think so. Here's the thing. I didn't realize this. Like, I knew she wanted to move the team to Miami, but I was like, but she's making all this money now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, and you're like, no, yeah, but she doesn't want to live there. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, but she can sell the team for so much more money now.
Right.
You know, like she is like, so at the beginning, people were just talking about her like, oh, you know, the team is going to tank. She's going to be a terrible owner. And then the beginning, it's like, oh my God, this was like the worst decision ever. And then at the end, she's going to end up getting all of this praise for making all these gutsy moves and proving everybody wrong. And I don't understand why she's so mad, because now she's handed the glory.
Yeah.
You know, I would be like, yes, it was a risk, but I felt it in my heart. Like I would be just like eating it up, bullshitting my way through it, talking about my brilliant vision that I had.
Well, so I'm glad you brought this up, because it said that they did have an extended scene where at the end of the, like before they play their final game, she comes in and she's like, guys, you know, all of this was just to get you guys pumped up to play. Because if you guys didn't have a winning season, I was going to lose the team because we didn't have enough money because no one was coming to the games and all that stuff. But
it wasn't believable.
Yeah, the people who watched the movie liked her better bitchy. And so they actually cut that out. But it's on the Wild Thing extended DVD copy.
I think, you know how they do the little closing credits?
Yeah.
I think it would have been fun if like everybody's celebrating out on the team and they're all happy and like she's being interviewed and she's just talking all this bullshit. And every now and then they look at her like, what?
And she's trying to get to other places. So she's like, this team's just going to suck. So we can just move somewhere else because I don't want to be here anymore. But it doesn't
But she
happen.
can still be like an absentee.
Yeah. Like
owner.
You don't have to be there every day.
Yeah. Just
Our
show
owner's
up,
not there most of the time.
show up opening day, closing day.
Yeah. Ours just pulls out his wallet and
writes the checks.
Yeah. And then he's gone. And they don't see him for months at a time.
Yeah. Unlike Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's different because he's the owner and the manager.
Yeah.
You know, or president or whatever you want to call him.
I mean, when you're the owner, you could give yourself any title you want.
But in baseball's case, most of the people are either owners or they're the president of baseball operations. They're not both. Jerry is like, no, I gotta be both. I think there is a couple. I want to say the Yankees might be that kind of way.
Steinberg.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they are, but I don't know, honestly.
Like if I had a team, I would be a hands-on owner. I would learn everything there was. And then my team would probably suck. I would be the Jerry of baseball.
But the thing is that the Cowboys don't suck. That's the thing.
Yeah, but like all you hear about all you hear about are the failures.
Yeah, that's because everybody all they do is talk about the Cowboys, the Yankees, the Lakers. So if they're not winning everything, then they suck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And as a person who loves a team that sucks, it's not the same.
True.
Like I hate team tank ideas. A lot of teams like to do that.
I don't know what that is.
So basically, I was going to say it. So what happened, just like in this movie, they want the team to suck. And the more you suck, the higher draft picks you get.
Yes.
If you get big draft picks, then you can get better players. So like the Astros spent like a decade being really, really, really bad. Like really bad. They play 162 games, right? They lost over 100 games. And
so you're saying that we could have gotten on the team if we were a male?
No. Because they lost all those games, right? Every year they had high draft picks because the more games you lose, the higher draft pick you get. So they would get the first spot or the second spot every year because they sucked so badly.
Is that why you hate them so much?
No, why I hate them is because they're cheaters.
Oh, okay.
And so then, because of all those years of sucking, they got all these good players, and now they're just stacked all the time. And I don't think they're ever going to suck again, and it's really annoying. Yeah, they have them winning again this year. Whatever. I hate them.
You want to do some voodoo magic on them?
Yes.
Oh, wait, but I'm from Houston. I'm supposed to go for them.
No. You live here.
I know, but like I just go where the wind blows.
Yeah, but
when I was in New York, I was a Yankees fan.
But if you were a fan there of them, you can still be a fan here. But if you weren't a fan of them there, then you shouldn't be a fan here. See what I mean?
Well, I still go for the Rangers.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's a good thought. Go for the Rangers.
Yes.
Why not? So I like all the different things they do during spring training. What I don't understand is Dorn. So he is apparently a very good hitter, but sucks at fielding because he doesn't want to hurt his moneymaker. He doesn't want to get hurt. Then why don't they, I know you don't know baseball, but just follow me on this. Why don't they just make him a DH? Because then he can just hit the ball. He doesn't have to be on the field. He can still get his money. Everybody wins. But instead,
aren't there different rules depending on which side of the league you are?
Yes. So
like the National Baseball League and the
Indians in this movie are in the American League. The American League does DH. So he could be a DH. So I don't know why they just don't do that. Because he sucks in the infield. He's costing them games. Not a very good thing. That really irked me the whole time I watched it. And then every time he would miss, I'm like, so it turns out Wesley Snipes is not a very good baseball player. He could not throw the ball to save his life. And so you don't see him throwing the ball at all in this movie.
Okay. Play your strengths.
Right?
Yeah.
But he got to be really fast.
Yeah.
And run.
I like his little jig when he's trying to steal the base.
Yeah.
Like, what direction am I going in?
I like his commercial where he slides in.
Yes.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
We actually have a guy on our team. His name is Bubba Thompson. And he's fast like him. And he loves to steal bases. So I'm sure he probably looks up to Willie Mays Hayes. And his name's Bubba.
Yep.
Bubba Thompson. So let's see here. Do you have any favorite parts of this movie?
I like how she's trying to kill their spirit.
Yeah.
But really, she's just creating bonding experiences for them. Like, at first, they're like, wow, they got us a 747. No, your airplane's this clunker. And then you're like, they're like just holding on and praying to God that they don't go down. And I'm like, you could see like the tape that has been put, like, because the leather has just worn off or got tore off of the seats.
Yeah.
And I just love that. And then later she moves them into a bus.
Yep.
And the only not believable part of the bus scene is that there was only one bus.
Yeah.
Like you would have to have at least 3. And that's really pushing it.
Yeah.
Because I saw some of them sleeping on one whole seat. So like how many players are on a team? You know?
53.
Exactly. And how many rows are in one bus? And then you have to think of the coaches and like how much laundry? Because, okay, they're traveling on a bus. It takes them hours/days, which means they don't have time to really, not that they would be doing their own laundry, but whoever's doing the laundry does not have time to do laundry and then pack up and move on to the next city.
Yeah.
Like they would have to pack up dirty clothes, move on to the next city. When they get there, then probably do laundry. Like the logistics of how much stuff they would have to pack.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, you would still pack it on an airplane, but because you're less time in the air, you have more time to like do laundry. You know?
Like some of the stuff in the movie, I don't know how true to life in baseball in 1988, because that's when it was filmed, was like. But they're like sleeping in bunk beds, like shitty bunk beds.
Well, it was spring training.
Yeah,
but like they were like, do people still even go out to Arizona?
Yeah.
Like it's hot.
My aunt went a couple weeks ago. We went, actually, it's like the anniversary of when we went was this past week.
It's so hot.
But, you know, I know what they do now, but I don't know what they would have done then. But those seemed pretty dire accommodations, even for 1989. Yeah. And then, like, their locker room sucks.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're so used to seeing today's.
Well, okay. Good example. I've watched the show that's about the Lakers.
I didn't know
it's
they
on
had a
HBO.
show.
Yeah, it's on HBO. It's really good. But it's from like I want to say late 70s, early 80s. And even they have like a pretty fancy, for the time, a pretty fancy locker room.
Well, remember that these are the Cleveland Indians. They haven't won in decades. They're already a crappy team. They may not be the worst, but they're down there. Like attendance isn't great. Like, so I could see their stadium probably being from the 1950s.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, what, 30 years old?
So actually, funny you should bring up attendance. So it said that the film depicts a sparse crowd for opening day, even though the Cleveland Indians routinely drew sparse crowds during their lean years, which means bad years. They generally will have sellouts or near sellouts for season and home openers, which is exactly how the Rangers were. Opening day, it's a brand new year, it's a brand new day. Everything's new and clean and fun and happy, lively. So people are there, and then
filled of hopes and dreams.
And then the next week it gets lower and lower and lower and lower. One fun thing that I love in this movie is Bob Uecker, I think is how you say his name. He's Harry Doyle in the film, and the director had asked him if he wanted to be in this movie because he'd seen him acting in Miller Lite commercials and on the show Mr. Belvedere, which is how I know him. And
I remember that show.
That it wasn't until Ward met Euchre that did he learn that he had been for the last 20 years, or for nearly 20 years, a radio broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers. This movie is set, or is actually filmed in Milwaukee.
Awesome. It's like full circle.
Right?
He's coming back to his roots.
Well, and funny that you say full circle. So, where'd it go? So because of snow, they weren't able to play their season opening at home. And they had to go to Milwaukee because they had just built an indoor or a stadium with a retractable roof. And so they had to play there, and they called them the Cleveland Indians of Milwaukee, and they were playing the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on the same game, which is really funny.
Where are the Dodgers from? Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, but they were from Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. So one thing that's fun is that Dorn, his wife, is watching their big game.
Yep.
And before it, I think it's before it happens, they're having like a televised party. And in the background, she sees him flirting with some lady and going into a room with her. Mm-hmm. And so then she's like, well, what shall I do but to sex myself up and go and hit on a famous or his teammate. Mm-hmm. So
I think that was just a coincidence.
Was it? Because it looked blatant.
Like, I feel like she went out with a purpose and then she recognized him and she was like, holy shit, my night just got better.
So she found Vaughn.
Like, look at it this way. Let's say that was his normal stomping grounds, right? That doesn't necessarily mean he will be there that night. That he is not already talking up some other chick, you know?
Who knows?
I feel like the stars aligned for her.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. But she went and found Charlie Sheen. Wild thing. Just sitting by himself.
Yeah.
And she seduces him, has sex with him, and then tells her husband that she had sex with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can't take pictures or do a video on her phone.
Yeah.
Do you expect, like, he's just going to have to take her word for it that she did that.
So then on the day of the big game,
he's shitting bricks.
He comes over and talks to Vaughn and he's like, strike this fucker out. and you're
like, okay, let bygones be bygones.
They're cool.
You know, like, this is a big moment. Don't fuck it up.
And then at the end of the movie, when they win, he comes over and punches Vaughn.
And then you're like, when that happened, I thought, okay, now we're cool.
Yes.
I thought of slapsgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're like always anticipating it, it's like, okay, now we're good.
Yep.
Now he shouldn't have to attack me. Okay.
Well, and it's not like Vaughn knew it was his wife. He had no idea.
Yeah, but just like you said, really, did she not plan it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm sure the wife has been around, but just because she's been around doesn't mean like I've been paying attention. You know?
No, he really didn't know. It wasn't until she told him who she was that he was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, no. I'm sure they have after parties.
Yeah,
and the wife would have showed up, like, you know, but he's getting it on with all the young hot things.
Let's get it on.
He's like, oh yeah, he's got a wife. I'm sure I've met her, but she did change her look.
She did.
She really did change her look. So,
yeah, because when her hair was pulled back, I forgot that that's what was happening.
I was like, she's kind of old looking.
Yeah. But then when we saw her getting dressed
and her hair was all fluffy.
I was like, oh shit, that's his wife. I forgot.
Same.
Another useless relationship that they had is Jack.
I thought that one was kind of important.
Yeah.
Well, it helped the plot.
Yes, but the Jack and Lynn, there was no reason for that.
No.
So I read that they were supposed to they had filmed a wedding scene
Oh,
that they were going to
put. They cut that.
Yeah, they were going to put it at the end of the movie after the team won. But they felt like it would be more about them than the team. So they cut it. And I was like, you should just cut out that whole storyline.
Yeah, it was not important.
No.
Like, I honestly don't even care about their relationship.
No, it was useless. Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
And then she never fucking locks the door. The landlord doesn't lock the door. Is this like a safe town where people just like leave their doors unlocked?
I would assume not.
Like, the only one I can see reasonably is the dinner party. You know? However, it appears that all the guests have arrived. But, maybe Sue said she'd stop by if she got a chance, and that's why they left the door unlocked.
Maybe.
And it's just, like, she didn't lock the door. Yeah. She moved out. The landlord didn't lock the door. Where's her shit after she broke up with what's-his-face?
Right.
Does she leave it all behind? Because clearly he's got the money.
Mm-hmm.
So she done fucked up. Oh, my gosh. So are they all going to get raises now? Because they're locked into contracts.
Yeah, but you get a bonus when you go to the playoffs and stuff.
What? Yeah. Bonuses?
So I always thought this game was them winning the World Series. I don't know why.
They just won their whatever.
But it was a play-in game. It was a tied game.
Oh, it wasn't their
it wasn't
league?
The playoffs. No. So
so then what happened? What?
So in their world, they did win the World Series, I believe.
Not that we ever saw.
Yeah, no.
So they just decided this is a good place to stop.
So what happened is they play 162 games, right? Mm-hmm. So they had 30 plus games towards the end. That's when he pulls out the little model with all the pieces on there, and they had to win their 22 games or something to win the division or tie the division. Mm-hmm. Well, they tied. So the Yankees and them were the same record. So they had to play game 163 in order to figure out who was going to move on to who's going to win the division, basically. Yeah. So nowadays that wouldn't happen because you get two wild card teams. And so then the wild card teams would play a play-in game. So one of them would have to play, but you would have the winner, whoever had a better record would win. So this actually doesn't make any sense because they've already played each other and it would have gone to their record. So they wouldn't have tied. But hey, it's a movie. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. But anyways, while we were sitting here, I got a message saying, watch Major League. Watch Major League. So someone else. So that's 4 votes.
Too slow.
I mean, we already did. So they won. I don't like that they beat the Rangers in this movie. That makes me sad.
Somebody had to lose.
Well, all the other movies that have reference to the Rangers, I believe the Rangers win, except for this movie. And I want to say The Rookie with Dennis Quaid when he comes to the Rangers ballpark. I don't think they win that game, which really sucks because that actually happened in real life. Let's see here. So Harry Doyle, his character says just a bit outside when the ball was way outside.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Away.
I love that part too. And the other guy's like looking at him like, what? Okay.
So he actually improvised that, and that's probably like the most famous quote in this whole entire movie. And anytime we're watching baseball games and something happens like that, we're like, just a bit outside. So I enjoyed that. It stands the test of time. Is there anything else in this movie that you want to speak on? Oh, the red card in the locker.
Oh yeah.
And so if they get a red card in their locker, that means the manager wants to talk to them and you're cut. And so someone sticks one in Vaughn's locker and he believes it was Dorn. I don't know if we ever find out who it was, but he believes it was Dorn and they get in a big fight. And now he might think that that's why he slept with his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure she didn't say, oh, I saw you with your whore on television. You know, she doesn't seem that kind of spiteful. She seems like she'd just be like, I slept with your teammate. But he wasn't cut. He gave a rousing speech to his manager. Like, you're making a mistake. Oh, and he can't see Vaughn.
I'm surprised. He even got like, they're just like, oh yeah, this kid can throw, but he can't aim. Be like, we'll take him.
Yeah.
Like,
he throws 101. We'll make him learn.
we'll train him. And then it's like, so the problem isn't our training. It is your vision.
Yeah. So for years, I've watched this movie tons of times, and I don't know why it didn't compute in my head that it's not that he's a closer, he's a starter, but in this particular game, he closes the game. I don't know why. I just always thought he was a closer. And so I was very confused as to why he gets mad, and I forgot that happened. And I was like, I thought he was a closer. No. But I think going forward in the next movie, he is. Because I know they call for the bullpen for him. And that's why they play Wild Thing and all that crap. So it's very confusing. But Charlie Sheen can actually play baseball in real life. He was a pitcher.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he really wanted to throw the ball. So what they did was they used a bit of trickery and they moved the base because normally it's, I think, 60 feet from the mound to home plate. But they moved it to like 10 feet. So he could throw the ball. And he took steroids just so he could throw the ball fast. Because he was about like in the 70s. And so he took steroids so he could be more in like the 80s to make it look faster.
Wow.
Yeah. He's hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Hell
say
yeah.
that was the start of his drugs, but
Fame came young.
all right. Is there anything else you have?
No.
Me neither. I think that's about it. I'm sure I'll think of some other shit when we are done.
Of course.
But I just want people to know that I hope the Rangers do really well this year. And I'm excited to watch them play.
I'm excited to go to the game.
Yeah.
I'm
we
more
need to
of
go.
a live person type person.
Yeah, we definitely need to go to a game. All right, guys. Well, putting the cart before the horse. What would you rate this movie?
I'm going to rate it a 6 out of 10. I am ready for a remake.
Yes.
This would be an excellent film to be updated.
I agree. I concur. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Wild Things.
You make my heart sing.
And yes, I do hope that they do a remake. I do want the lovely listeners to know that I don't think we did this, but it just so happens after we reviewed the Brandy Cinderella movie, they're now doing a new part with Brandy and the original prince.
I'm so excited. They look so good together.
I was like, did we do this?
I think he looks even better.
Right?
Like he has aged like a fine wine.
Yeah. So look out for that.
We'll definitely do that when it hits, I don't know, theaters, Disney,
Probably streaming.
ABC.
Who knows?
But we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Yes.
Bells on. And go Rangers.
Woohoo.
April, where can they find us and tell us about their baseball team?
Two Chicks Talking Flicks over on Instagram.
And you can find us at Two Chicks Talkin Flicks at Gmail.
Guess what? We have a Facebook, Two Chicks Talking Flicks.
We also have TikTok, a Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
Yes, yes, yes. You can listen to us on Spotify, on iTunes podcast. We have
I started uploading some shorts to YouTube, and YouTube is starting to play podcasts. So if you're a YouTuber, you probably won't hear us right now because you do YouTube, but soon you will find us on there.
Yes, indeedy.
So, all right, guys, until next time.
Toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Girvani. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.